We are at the Oshkosh AirVenture 2014, and we are in an amazing corner of time right here. This is a JN-4 Jenny, 4D actually, Jenny, sitting behind us. And I'm sitting with the owner of the aircraft, Mr. Bob Baker from Alva, Oklahoma. And we're going to spend a little time just talking about the story of finding this airplane and why you're bringing it back to life. Bob, welcome.
You bet, Michael. Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about the story? Where did you get involved in finding a Jenny, and how did you come about having parts for one?
I've restored 3 Mustangs, the last 2 being Sweet and Lovely and Little Rebel, to honor the Patello twins, Bill and Buck Patello. So it's time for another project, and my Warbird buddies, they're thinking maybe a P-40, Corsair, stay in that same category of aircraft. But I was looking for a different challenge in life. I've never worked with wood or fabric. So, just thinking of the evenings of an aircraft to do and what could be more classic than a Jenny. It's the first practical mass-produced aircraft built. It was about a 3 to 4 year search to find a Jenny to restore.
And where did you find this aircraft?
It was actually, most of it in a basement in New Hampshire. The story how it got there, the airplane was owned by Charlie Nichols, the Yanks Air Museum, and the owner that ended up with this was John Barker. John had a Standard, and Charlie Nichols had a couple of Jennies. He needed a Standard for his museum, so they did a trade. And John, unfortunately, split up with his wife, and somehow she ended up with the airplane. So she put the airplane up for sale on Barnstormers, and I bought the aircraft and went up there and drug it out of the basement and U-hauled it back to Oklahoma.
So you say you found the airplane, drug it out of the basement. What did you actually drag out of the basement?
A lot of little pieces. This airplane's very fortunate that the majority of the metal is original metal. I had the firewall, but it had a lot of rust, and somebody had modified it at some point, cut some ugly holes in it. So we did build a new firewall. The engine cowling was missing, so I am building a new engine cowling. But all of the hundreds of little brackets and forgings and castings are in airworthy condition, and we're reusing those. And if you look at the wood, it's just gorgeous. It took a lot of sanding and prepping to get it back to life. But I like to integrate as many original parts into restoring an aircraft as I can.
So when some people look at this airplane, they think that's a replica. This is not a replica.
No, this is definitely not a replica. It's a restoration. We're using new bolts that we hadn't manufactured for safety, and all the brackets have been inspected. Fortunately, after 96 years, they were in excellent condition.
Very nice. This has been a wonderful experience to talk with you. I appreciate you making the time, and I really appreciate you bringing an airplane like this back to life, Bob. I want to thank you for sitting down with us today.
All right, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Michael Maya Charles from AirVenture 2014.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
Since 2001, MGL Avionics has produced avionics for experimental and light sport aircraft. The flagship product is the IEFIS, a comprehensive next-generation flight, engine, and navigation instrument designed to meet the demands of the modern pilot. See more at www.mglavionics.com.